Reserve time. Fnatic's turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summit presentation of the Boston Major Southeast Asian qualifier. Here we have the group stage match between Fnatic and Mineski here. It is going to be just one wonderful best of one between two of what most would consider the top three teams in the region. So Fnatic just coming off a loss against Faceless, a hard one, as they were in advantage, at least in metrics, for a good part of that game, controlling an Alchemist really well and pushing down towers, only to just be battered back by a superior team fight. Now, having to go up against Mineski with a superior win line in this group stage, and really worrying about their standings if they continue to take losses here.
So what's up, buddy? Way too long since we've cast a game together.
It's true.
It's been quite some time, and you're way too chill, man. We got hype. It's a really big game. Fnatic is sitting at 4-2 in the region. Of course, one of the teams that was in the thick of things when we talked about the direct invites to Boston. One of the favorites coming to the region, but now they are sitting on that two-loss column, and you've got another team with 2 losses, and you've got 2 more teams with 3 losses. They lose this game, and their spot in tomorrow's playoffs is far from guaranteed.
Absolutely, and that's the big question mark. I mean, everybody's looking to at least get into the top 4. From there, seeding is kind of like, it's important, but not the most important thing, considering I believe it's a double elimination bracket. But all things considered, if they're not able to make it in, that would be a huge upset. Not getting invited to the event directly, despite their LAN performances, their TI performance. And then now looking at Mineski and just wondering what exactly is going to happen this game. I mean, I'm sure they put time researching Mineski and their drafts and their planning, but I'm sure they put much more time researching Faceless, and that means that they might actually be caught off guard by a couple things here from Mineski. So starting things off, we are going to be seeing the Batrider pickup, most likely in the offlane in the hands of Ralphie, who is actually one of the more standout performers on this team.
Yeah, really weird stat about Batrider. He's the most banned hero by far across 4 regions qualifiers, but only been picked up 8 times heading into the last series. Batrider, that is a nasty open by Mineski. And one of the things you talk about preparing against Mineski, not an easy thing to do. They have shown us a lot of different looks already in their 5 wins in this qualifier series, and that's pretty scary. The Shadow Demon Kunkka from Fnatic, a little more traditional in terms of the roaming combo. We've seen this combo a lot in SEA play. Always the outside chance that Mushi will play that Kunkka in a core position, although that's probably not the favorite as we go into this draft.
Yeah, one thing that I do like about a core Kunkka over a support
there's the respect, by the way, for the Pugna. We saw that in the last match.
Yeah, it definitely could be a problem because Naga wants to buy time and have a longer extended game, so I definitely see value in taking out some of the early push heroes. But in case the Kunkka is that core, the value of it is that you don't have to rotate both supports to make a kill happen. You can just bring in the Shadow Demon, get a disruption, and set up something there. So it has that option, but like you said, we've been seeing it a lot more in that support, that 4 position, because it's still pretty cost-effective as a grab. That being said, Naga Siren being the second pick here from Mineski, not really should be a surprise to anybody who's been looking at their games. Essentially, if Naga is not a first phase ban, it is a first phase pick for Miracle here. And
if there's one player in the world that I actually get excited when they pick Naga, it is. Guy has been a Naga player, has been in the top 5 in the world on this hero for at least 3 years now. He was one of the original core Naga players, and man, oh man, he's actually quite exciting to watch on this hero.
Insanely so. And the best thing is that by continuously picking it up whenever it's not banned, you're always at least getting a ban for free out of your opposition. And if not, then you just get a hero that you're very comfortable with, that you've been able to dominate so many teams with, even teams at the caliber of Fnatic. But
I really like, though, this response coming back in Fnatic. We talked in the last game against Faceless where obviously they kind of went all in push strategy, especially with the Pug in the last pick when they already had a
10
Terrorblade. They are going to go with the Illusion combo here once again of Shadow Demon and an Agility hero, this time, of course, being the Luna in place of the Terrorblade. But I feel like that gives you a lot more options, especially if the Kunkka for the role.
We actually got to see a very similar lineup coming out from, I believe, Fire Dragoon, the Open Qualifier team, where they opened Shadow Demon, Kunkka, Luna as a set of heroes, very defensive supports that can go right behind the Luna. The problem is, Mineski answered with an aggressive tri lane involving the Naga Siren. So they had a Naga Siren with an Undying and a Crystal Maiden, all tri-laning against the Luna Kunkka SD, and that was so absurd how one-sided it was. The only reason that there were even kills going the other way is because Mineski were diving too ambitiously.
Did you say a Naga, a CM, and an Undying
yes.
Okay, there's a level of hell where you have to play against that lane continuously.
Exactly. Just continuous, like, every time they had their nukes off cooldown, it's just like, hey, you get hit by Nova, as well as Decay, as well as Riptide, you're at below half HP with reduced armor, and you're not going anywhere.
Now, I actually really like this Elder Titan pick here by Mineski. Of course, we saw Fnatic run it in combination with the Terrorblade in the last match, but I really like it against the Luna, not only because, especially obviously against those Agi heroes, you're taking away that armor advantage, because the Elder Titan early on can really, like, he can hold powers by himself if he gets levels under the right circumstance.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of synergy between the heroes. We've seen it plenty of times where you get a good Song of the Siren setting up an Echo Stomp and then an Earth Splitter at the perfect time here. You're going to be able to just enable so many really good fights on your own. So it's not like the perfect thing where you have like a Static Storm or a Black Hole following it, but it's just short of that, where if you time it perfectly, there's very little reaction time, maybe a BKB spam from the Luna to try to deal with this without getting slept.
So I'm assuming that this is probably going to be an Ohio Timbersaw?
Fanatics turn to
I'm not necessarily sold. I mean, Mushi's played the hero, not necessarily fully sold on his Timber. I mean, you're missing that mid-1 Timbersaw at this point that you had going for you.
I think if they are expecting another aggro try, if they did their research and saw that the Naga CM +1 went to the bottom lane and as to the Kunkka Shadow Demon Luna, I think what they might be trying to do is set the same playing field, incentivize Mineski to make the same lanes, and then outlane them on the top. Because if Timbersaw goes offlane in a 1v1, he can absolutely dominate most heroes. He's really good against melee heroes, and he's able to like start snowballing pretty quickly.
I think I see what you're saying, but I think you have to be careful with that mentality because losing a tri lane is still losing a tri lane. That's losing a lane involving of the heroes on the map.
It's not always a loss though. Like while that was very clearly an outplay and a match of skill when Mineski went up against Dragoons, I feel like in this case, Shadow Demon Kunkka Luna can win that matchup. It just comes down to how you position, how you take advantage of Luna's aura early on, or the early damage she puts out, and obviously how you use the disruption. They were disrupting a Naga with a poor man's shield, 2 fairy fires, full HP.
And worth mentioning, by the way, that Fnatic has done their research. The Ogre Magi and the Undying both banned out second phase.
Exactly. So they know what they're up against. I feel like they are setting the same template down, allowing Mineski to draft into it because they know what to expect. This is an evil that you understand versus an evil that you don't. It's going to be, however, maybe a Timbersaw versus Sand King up top.
Wait, is this so this is a mid Batrider or possibly even a mid Sand King?
Yeah, I definitely could see the Batrider and the Sand King each going to the solo lanes, so if they go for the aggro try again.
10 seconds remaining.
This is going to be pretty interesting. This is going to be a very dynamic game, because like Timbersaw, yeah, you favor him against a lot of heroes, but its Caustic Finale has been considered the soft counter for the early landing of Timbersaw for a while, so I think that they're looking for that matchup.
You were saying, I agree with you. I think Rothley's probably going to be on the Batrider, so this is probably a Raging Potato Sand King.
Definitely possible.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him play very in-your-face heroes in the past, but it's been his MO in the more recent periods. So, excited to see what he's kind of going to do with it, if that's going to be the case. We could be reading this very differently, and it could be a completely different composition where they play a lot more defensive and jungle the Sand King. I don't prefer that, but it's, on the table. Mineski's the one with the options, whereas Fnatic, they're the ones that are going to be pressured. I mean, do you consider to try to dodge a tri-lane that you predict? You assume that Mineski tri-lane's bottom, then you throw the Luna Shadow Demon up top and Saw down bottom with a Kunkka wherever he's needed?
I don't think that when you open Shadow Demon Kunkka Luna that your mentality is, especially opening Shadow Demon Kunkka Luna against likes to tri-lane and has had success with that in the past. I don't think your mentality is we're gonna dodge. Like I mean, who knows? They actually could end up doing it, but they That open tells me that they've got a plan and that they think they can match Mineski blow.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can on this tanking though. It's a lot of magical burst damage, which is what these heroes don't like to deal with. The Luna and the Timbersaw getting bursted early can really marginalize their impact because they're really glass cannons.
Mirana, I mean, actually Mirana Batrider mid is... Mirana's got to be really careful there.
Definitely,
because
leap...
that turn rate slow screws with her leap so badly.
Exactly. So we'll see how that plays out. If there's going to be sticky napalm, making things a little more difficult for the Mirana.
Okay, this is an Ohio. Yeah, that's an Ohio Timbersaw and a Mushi Mirana. This is a comfort lineup for Fnatic. This is a lineup that they're very comfortable playing. They've run a lot of similar lineups in the past.
I think this also boasts some confidence for AU and Demon. Like, we're talking about this try versus try, and if what we have set the tone for is actually going to come into fruition, it's going to be all about the support play. If the Shadow Demon uses his disruption even improperly once, suddenly losing 2 or 3 lives.
I tell you that the player that's made a big difference for Mineski in this goals. Like, we saw him play the Ogre earlier, just to have a mech out of nowhere before 20 minutes on that Ogre Magi, and if he can, that same kind of early, unexpected item progression on this Elder Titan, that's huge.
Absolutely. So, we're going to be seeing them actually making their way towards the bottom lane here. Mushi is going to be that mid Mirana. It seems like everything as we expected it to be is going to be coming into play. Down bottom, it is going to be Miracle starting off with same items that we saw. Actually, no Fairy Fires this time. Going with 4-man shield and branches is going to try to sustain things out. So, could be a little bit different.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, right now we've got Ralphie up top with the Windlace. We've got Sand King looking at bottom with a Stout Shield, but it is Jay playing it, so you expect it to be in a more involved core position.
Oh, wait a minute, is this mid Naga?
It currently looks like it, but the question is really like how does that actually evolve the laning configuration?
That's actually, I mean, it's pretty good, right? Mirana certainly can't right-click harass a Naga with 4-man shield. 7 armor and a 4-man shield early on. Good luck.
Yeah. The problem is that still the Shadow Demon and the Kunkka, if they're free to roam back and forth, is still going to be creating kill potential against her. So I think they need to get vision in the Radiant jungle, kind of seeing these rotations. If they can keep an eye on Kunkka, at least have a very clear idea of when they're missing, when they're smoked, then I think the Miracle will feel much more confident.
Yeah, I just feel like it's I would rather see, I feel like it's a huge Raging Potato fault line in levels.
Alright, well, we're going to see the illusions come out level 1 here. They really want this boundary, and they'll get it on the Naga while Ohio snags up the top one. Timbersaw. I'm kind of surprised Ralphie didn't even test that.
And they are going to go down to this bottom lane with a Sand King core. Oh man, that's... You got to win this lane. Sand King being under-leveled in matchup is really, really dangerous, especially because the way Mineski plays, they count on Raging Potato to be a playmaker in a lot of situations.
Say that at the very least they can't dramatically lose this lane. Like if they just continue to draw even and Luna gets as little as the Sand King, then that's fine because the matchups are going to be in your favor. But it's going to be a bunch of centuries back and forth, and it's not going to be AU that's going to get caught by the Burrow Strike here. Should be going down.
Oh no, that's a
really good torrent. I thought that if one of the heroes would dodge it out, they'd be okay, but now they're actually the ones on the run. 3 stacks on Jules here, but it's not going to be nearly enough damage to bring it down. He's got his next Burrow Strike up, but no good target to go on. The Burrow Strike is such a short cooldown that you're actually able to use it twice in those kinds of skirmishes, and if they didn't get caught by the torrent, Jay would absolutely have been able to finish off.
I think he needed the 2-hero torrent to close that deal there, and he got it. I think that would have been first blood if not.
Here, so last hits already favoring Naga Siren.
But 8 stacks and 9 stacks of napalm. Goodbye, my friend.
Where are you going, good sir? Had no actual fairy fire on Ralphie. Actually, passed it around.
Okay.
Magic Stick, Stout Shield, and a 0-1-1 build allows you to tank 10 napalm.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen a Batrider with 10 napalm stacks not get first blood? Oh my goodness.
Well, that's the problem being level 1, combined with a few other factors.
That's true.
The Windlace, not enough to close that one out. That's very unfortunate. He must have been really confident in that position. But Magic Stick and a little bit of maybe Stout Shield block fortune. But Mushi trying to control Miracle right here, right now. No bottle on the bounty rune, but... And actually, just immediately clearing out the illusions, that's very detrimental to Miracle, as he relies on that mirror image and the Riptide very heavily to actually continue to poke at the lane.
Yeah, he is, but he's doing fine in early CS.
Oh, this could be a kill. This is going to be a stomp coming out of invisibility. There's no disruption as of yet, so they could easily go close on one target. They've got mana for Burrow Strike. Jules remains patient.
Aw, Raven. You realize?
He doesn't realize. He's going to get stomped. That's going to set up a very easy Burrow Strike. But
the Torrent again! Oh my god.
Jimmy is on point this game. A two-man Torrent into a single one, making it impossible for Raging Potato to stay on target. And they're actually allowing this Luna to farm up nicely.
Yeah, meanwhile, up in the top 9, Ohio beating the Batrider in CS.
The last time it was Ralphie playing a Slark versus an Omni Knight. I would say a pretty back-and-forth matchup depending on how skills are used, but here it's going to be Ohio favored now that that first blood has tipped the scales, and that magic stick continues to allow him to soak up everything. I mean, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't even cancel the Timber Chain anymore because Flame Break doesn't actually cause an interrupt.
That's the real big problem with that nerf, that you have no way to deal with Timbersaw, and you saw that behind the tower, right? If he'd have he was level 1 anyway, so it doesn't matter, but you know, that's the kind of situation where it's super relevant that Batrider doesn't have the ability to disrupt Timbersaw's escape.
And now Timbersaw can just man up on him, be very aggressive, very involved, and he's going to get better levels, have an earlier rotation to the side lanes, and maybe disrupt this Try-V-Try, which with a important Burrow Strike that now catches them completely off guard. There is no Torrent follow-up. Jimmy coming off cooldown with that, gets the X. Will he get the Torrent? It looks like it's going to be AU going down first, and they should be able to get Jay in as a rebuttal kill. But Demon, in the meantime, is losing a lot of HP. He'll get clobbered down and denies to the creeps, in fact. And they're going to try to finish off Raven as well. The Stomp, however, is not going to be connecting, as that is a Boots Luna with 380 movement speed.
Nice frog, please.
Too fast, too furious, too good in this lane. But
meanwhile, the other two solo lanes, though, going in Fnatic's favor pretty handily.
Yeah, I expected that Miracle would be doing a little bit better, but he got pressured really heavily by Mushi early on. Like, he's just casting spells left and right and not really getting much value out of them. And obviously, we saw that ever consequential first blood, where Ralphie just didn't have that second level and didn't have the patience.
I thought you made a really good point about Mushi being pretty dedicated in terms of Miracle made some small positioning errors with his illusions, and he's been losing those fairly early on.
Bottom lane, though, it continues to be just disrupted over and over. The Demon Torrents have been on point this game, and it just, as long as you can just poke down the Sand King and make it so that he's not confident to go in, it essentially turns Jay's initiation into a suicide mission.
But look at this. This is what I was talking about. The Sand King is basically a full level behind the Luna. And he's a hero that really needs to be played in this game with an XP advantage.
Yeah, he had the CS to make up for it, but now that's lacking. 5, and it seems like 3 lanes to build for.
Boy, Fnatic leading across the board. Got to be. I mean, Mineski have the mid tower here to happen and get it right. Got to start thinking about rotation.
Quick on her feet. Obviously, we saw now Maxi Chain is going to be able to move in and out very nicely. Like they're not going to have blinks for a long time, and that's the consequential thing.
Wow, they're going to.
Jules is just going to die here, 100%.
That's fine.
Lucent Beam might be required, but otherwise, to kind of make sure the stomp doesn't come out, and Luna will grab actually the last hit, while Ohio rotates, tries to get another kill, and unfortunately for him, doesn't get really anything in that rotation, leaving Ralphie to pressure the top lane.
Yeah, and just giving a precious little bit of space. Oh my, well, I was going to say, did we speak too soon, but it looks like Raging Potato is going to get away there. Oh man, Ohio, no fear whatsoever.
Almost getting off, but it would mean it would be if the Sand King was actually making a rotation.
Oh, the Shadow Demon's going to go down. Okay, they are.
Yeah.
He's suicided. Fine.
And doesn't have boots yet, so he's been expending a lot to keep this Luna in play. I'm going to switch temporarily over to Networth just so that AU only has like less than starting gold. He's actually feeling pretty poor.
I mean, you expect that though. He was against a pretty strong offensive tri lane, and you know the torrents from Jimmy just had such a huge impact. They're going to give Ohio a bit of space, man. I like this call. I actually really like this lane switch up here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing they can really do to kill this Timbersaw off at this stage. The Sang is still dedicated to bottom. Actually, going to be some diving action from Ohio. If he had a little bit more mana, I'd actually understand it, but he's kind of wasting chains here and there. Being said, if he's got backup and he's just keeping Jules on his feet, then
He just wants to, and I really like that because it generates just a little bit of pressure. It opens space for Shadow Demon and Kunkka to rotate, but again, the scan catches them really nice.
Yeah, Miracle will be in some serious trouble if that wasn't the case, but the smoke really is just going to be a faux initiation. It's actually going to be bottom, where they can just run in.
They're looking for stacks there. There's not.
Oh, big pickup on Raven if they can just get this Burrow strike.
Nope.
Too far. He's going to be under tower by the time they get
They're going to blow them
distance.
in the Moranals anyway. They saw that use, so Mineski should not get caught here. Ooh, I don't know though. It's night. Maybe it was on the very edge of vision. They might not have seen that. Oh no.
Flips coming out along with Torrent that didn't actually connect the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, they messed up the X Torrent, but
either way,
if
he's not able to hide behind trees to break vision, Luna will see him far, far away and will be able to get the kill. So a very nice freebie for Raven is going to start him off really well in this game. What do you think about the mid game, though? We're going to talk about this stage where inevitably Miracle's Radiance is going to come through. But it's going to happen this game. I don't think we're going to see like just a dramatic 4 racks advantage and no Naga Radiance. So
I mean,
when that comes out, what kind of clear are we looking at? Is Luna going to have enough in her glaives, or maybe the Tidebringer will maxed and Jimmy can go for an armlet to try to break down those illusions? Or do you have another answer?
In a vacuum, you'd be worried about it, but I mean, you've got over a 3K gold lead before 10 minutes. That's the kind of lead that is going to a lot of those potential problems, and you also have the ability to contest access to Naga's side. You know, Naga's not going to be doing free 3 and 4 stacks up here. You know, Mushi's around with an Invis rune, kind of.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more damage, or he needs Miracle further away from hit home. So he's going to see Miracle doing a little bit of stack action. Will be annoying and block that, but otherwise it's not going to be creating the kill. Yeah, it's going to be Jimmy who's pressure down bottom. Looks like the tanking has set up a kill on him. In the meantime, Miracle did get comboed up with Ohio's help. He needed just a little assistance.
That's absolutely value.
So Ohio gets that rotation, the Tipping gives them that mobility, and they are able to kill off the Naga, just short of killing off the Courier. But Ohio keeps just dancing on this top lane, and Ralphie really can't do much about it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, he still has lasso, so he can't necessarily just TP out, but he does. Alright, he's got that max temperature. No problem.
And they actually might be able to set up something up top here, as Mushi is going to be able to rotate in. Jules, one arrow could absolutely be his death, and there's going to be the phase boots as well as the leap to try to close the distance. He's got the TP back up in Demon, but still a little bit wary about that Ralphie Batrider.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as Mineski, you're kind of treading water here. You're trying to make enough space for Naga to progress for a Radiance, but you got to worry about multiple farming heroes on the other side.
Is AU going to be able to get out of this? There is no Flame Break, as it's not a very effective spell these days. It's going to be the Stomp that comes through, barely connecting, and setting up the kill onto the Shadow Demon. So you're really
are they going to get a rebuttal kill here?
Yeah, the X pretty much guarantees it here. They're going to just throw up the perfect combo underneath the tower and finish off the Batrider as well. In the meantime, Timbersaw going ham is able to kill off the Sand King, but loses his life to the Crystal Maiden. Mineski will take that. They will take that trade.
Well, I'm not sure.
What? No, just the two. I'm not talking. Obviously, the Batrider.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Not for the Shadow Demon, no. But take the Sand King for the Timbersaw. The CM just gets like a freebie and gets 2 free levels.
I'm not.
600 gold at 2 levels.
I'm not sure though, because look again, right? The Sand King is now 2 full levels behind the Timbersaw. The Sand King is by far the lowest level core in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it sucks for the Sand King, but what does he actually lose? 210 gold for death cost. The Crystal Maiden gets 102 levels?
Again, it's not necessarily as much about the heroes, it's just about the way that Mineski likes to play. I mean, Raging Potato is just such a huge playmaker for this team. I worry about them having this kind of explosive potential when he's under-leveled.
As long as he doesn't die again, and he still gets his Blink Dagger within the next few minutes, I think they'll be able to shrug it off. But
I'm with you.
In the end, the problem is they've just lost 2 heroes, the Batrider and the Sand King, both of them delaying their blinks, and that makes it harder to get the team fight online.
I mean, you know, Mushi's Mirana making good progress toward Zags. Luna looking like she's probably going to go for that Dragon Lance early on. Could be a BKB, but Dragon Lance becomes default early item.
Definitely for Raven here. He's doing really well for himself now. Just looking at overall net worth, we're going to see him at 5,200 almost. And Eclipse is the big thing for the Luna. Like, being able to just continuously fight when the Eclipse is available. Actually, the arrow still connects despite the Burrow Strike coming through, and that's going to be the death of the Sand King again.
That's what you were worried about, and I agree.
It's looking bad. It's looking very bad.
He's just been set back so far in this game. I really, you know, I know it's a Miracle Naga. You want to give him that space. You want to give him that good start mid, but...
Nice ward. This is going to allow them to pressure the tier 2 tower very heavily, as they have to be afraid of Raven moving in with the Eclipse, the Kunkka, as well as Ohio, making little pickoffs.
That is one thing that, since Fnatic has started working with coaches and analysts, that has changed so much for the better for this team, is just their vision game. And it was such a dramatic turnaround in the Shanghai Major.
And it's going to set up another kill on Batrider here. The nice song of Siren keeps him up. Is there an epicenter on 3? Burrow strike coming here. That's only going to hit on the Kunkka. Mushi leaps out of the way in time. Otherwise, that would have been an amazing combo. Instead, it's just going to be 2 ultimates to save life and to take 1. Mushi actually going in under the guise of Moonlight Shadow. Can he find an opening here? He needs more. He needs Ohio, who is unfortunately out of mana, TPing all the way back to the well. But instead it's going to be this Raven solo kill. Thanks to that Eclipse. Couldn't have seen that coming.
And what a difference, just that couple hundred gold of Raging Potato not having this Blink Dagger.
So that's going to be the Burrow Strike to finish off the Shadow Demon. It's going to be a delay of the inevitable here, as AU definitely will be going down. And they need to get Sand King the last hit there. Unfortunately, it's going to be Jules, who not only takes the last hit, but now gets arrowed, and most brought down by Mushi as a Burrow Strike whiffs for the 2nd time this game. Jules going to be dancing away at 110 HP, but yeah, we are seeing Jay so close to that Blink Dagger, only 200 gold off.
And that's a thinking player that's just used to having Blink Dagger by this point in the game, and is having to rely exclusively on his Burrow Strike for positioning.
In the meantime, Miracle is getting farm. Going to be only 1,300 gold off of that Sacred Relic. I mean, that's still 1/3 of it, and it's a very delayed timing. But when he gets it, it will be a game changer.
It's just the clock is ticking at the point that Luna is getting bigger and bigger. She's going to be able to start taking down your towers en masse very quickly.
Sells the mango, gets the
and there's the blink. Okay. Yeah, it's not definitely not Doomsday scenario here for Mineski. They have the tools to get back into this game. They really would like a kill on this Luna, but it looks like Fnatic is going to be the ones taking the initiative here, smoking their support combo behind Mushi. I like this play.
Yeah, burned quite a few smokes. In fact, they only have 1 left entirely, but they've been using the Shadow Demon Kunkka very well, and they've actually been really pressuring this area of the map nicely, but they're going to be going for a flank maneuver, and Jay's in a good position to get out. So he'll TV up to the top lane, where Ohio is dragged back thanks to the Batrider. Some vengeance is in order as they bring down the Timbersaw once again. Another big pickup.
Very good by Mineski there to get the trade. They're going to probably give up this tier 1 tower on the bottom, but they're going to get the Timbersaw kill, help get that Batrider back into the game, and all of a sudden, you know, Sand King is level 9. But Luna just hit a level 11 now.
So coming out with the blink follow through. So if that second the smoke pops, that Sand King's going to blink forward and most likely find a kill. But speaking of kills, we see Jules down bottom in some trouble here, getting caught with all 3 spells out of the X, and that's going to be a kill.
The big one, though, he misses the Burrow Strike on the Luna mid!
It might still be enough to bring her down. She doesn't have that much HP to work with, but she will bring it around with the Eclipse.
Not quite. Very nice. The CM ulti makes a difference.
It definitely does. That a little bit of extra level as well as mana to work with is enough for them to turn it. Yes, he misses the Burrow, but they actually get an Eclipse out of it as a result. Yeah, trading Eclipse for Freezing Field because of the miss Burrow actually gives Mineski a bit of an edge in the next fight.
And I really think if after a little bit of extra damage from the Freezing Field that the extra couple bursts from Eclipse might have been enough to turn that one around in the Luna's favor. And that's a huge kill. That's a Luna that might manage a kill on a 3v1.
Yeah, exactly. And that was level 2 Eclipse at the time, so that is just going to keep rocking the beams. The longer she lives, the more damage she's dealing, and it could have been easily 1 or 2 kills. But they get the damage done, and they are going to be able to send Raven back to the grave. So
Mineski really stopped the bleeding here. I mean, if you look, they are still behind by a few thousand gold, but they've stabilized things. You know, they're back in the game where they want to be.
Yeah, we're going to see a Sandstorm try to pull him out, but just way too many spells connecting. And
they've spoken too soon there. Raging Potato just continues to have a little bit of a rough game.
Yeah, it seems like that's just going to be the tone and par for the course at this point for this Sand King. But
I mean, look at the net worth distribution. All 3 Fnatic cores farming well, where it's really only the Naga up there. Both the Sand King and the Batrider suffering, and they've got to find a way to make these 2 heroes contribute. They've got their blinks, but you really want blink and force step on that Batrider.
So we have Raven with the illusions coming into play. This is a level 2 disruption, a 2-1-4 build, allowing Raven to put a lot of damage into this tower. And Ohio's buying some time here on the front line. The hood completes, able to really make him the tanky nuisance here. Poking and prodding at Jules are going to get the Demonic Purge on him. He's going to drop the ultimate though with the Song of the Siren. Not really going to connect with that splitter, but they've got a freezing field and they're looking to use it. Can they get anything? Ohio caught him by last, so the self-destruct on AU only just stops him for a moment. Nice boat coming through, gonna be able to connect on the Naga and the Bat, but they've already lost 3 heroes, and Demon is in some real trouble. Ralphie right on top of him.
Big high-value target here is Raven.
Brings him down.
Raging Potato's gonna commit the epicenter for this. Oh, he whips the ball strike again!
Still might be able to get it. There's no eclipse to turn around for 5 seconds. They get the leaf. They're gonna be able to stay right on top of him and finish the job with a little bit of caustic action.
Ralphie!
Ultra kill for the Bat Rider in the end of it, all set up by a gorgeous Song of the Siren from Miracle. My goodness, was that just the perfect sleek to turn it around.
That is why he's been considered one of the best, if not the best Naga Siren player of the pro scene for quite some time.
He's carrying the team so hard they don't even need to hit barrel strikes. Like that cue off the keyboard, Jay, it's gonna be fine.
I'm telling you, this Mineski team, they haven't necessarily looked pretty throughout these qualifiers, but they're able to find that one big fight, that one big moment that they need to either stay in these games or turn them around. Very disciplined squad.
Middle tower has been denied.
And you just gotta wonder if there was like a full pipe or...
There is your Radiance that we've been talking about, boys.
And now you really need the pipe on the Timber Saw. You need to be able to mitigate all that magical damage. I feel like he was getting a little bit too cute farming the wave right in front of them.
I agree.
And it just put them in this compromised position when the song came out.
Yeah, I agree. I think Fnatic did not need to be quite that aggressive playing up in their face, and anytime you get split up when a Song of the Siren's involved, you gotta expect to be heavily punished for it. Fnatic is going to try to smoke here, get a few of those gains back. Looks like Raging Potato might go down here, but he's going to anticipate.
Yeah, he's actually going to be able to survive through that Demonic Purge hit, and the Torrent does not connect either. So there was a small glimpse of the area that they smoked in, but unless you're looking right there, there's no way you see it coming. So a little bit of fortune and a good reaction with the Burrow Strike.
They'll take a tier 2 as the consolation prize, but avoiding that death on Raging Potato, again, he's Bat Rider and the Sand King are going to have their 2 mobility items up here for the mid game to supplement that Naga's Radiance. Mineski all of a sudden right back where they want to be.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that Damon is going for this full utility support Kunkka build, probably Ether Lens next, no Tiebringer at all. And he's going to have no wave clear to speak of. Like, this is going to be entirely on the Ags, Mirana, and the Luna.
Yeah, you got Ags, Mirana, you got Luna, you got Timber. You got plenty of wave clear, brother.
You have plenty of wave clear, but you're up against a Naga that pretty much pushes it for all it's worth. Like,
fair enough.
Miracle knows how to pressure the lanes, and it's going to make it so that you're never going to have enough wave clear. But all the same, Moose in a pretty good spot right now with a double damage rune. Phase Boots probably picking up the Blink Dagger very shortly, but the vision game hasn't been as strong as it was just 5-10 minutes ago. Now they don't have a clear idea of where Mineski are moving, and it might cost Ohio his life. He'll pop the hood, he'll be fine as he has his TP to back him up, or the tower to back him up.
That's pretty telling too. They're very tentative about going on Ohio, even with both of their big initiators.
Yeah, if the tower wasn't there, you better believe they were going to go for it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Just that proxy, the ability for Fnatic to quickly rotate and respond.
Now, what they're doing is purely. I agree with that only because what they're doing is just purely opening up space on the map for Miracle. They don't necessarily have to get that kill.
So, Bloodstone complete for Ohio. The Pipe of Insight actually going to be finished first for Jules here. So going to be able to mitigate a lot of that damage coming in from the boat.
And once again, by the way, Jules just like somehow, I mean, this is, give me a break. This is what Naga on your team soaking up all that farm, and he's still finding farm on his support. This guy is such a huge part of this team's success.
Yeah, and a big part of it just comes down to getting assists. But are actually going to see a jump on mid here, committing everything they can. 2 ultimates to guarantee the Mirana kill. If you can get the lasso, you're getting the kill for sure.
And that's totally fine because it really kind of pulls Fnatic's
Jay's in some trouble though. Can they get the spell catcher? They will get that.
They need to be careful. They're 5v4 here.
It still is going to be a kill, at least on the Sand King. And really, unless you're caught by the Naga song and Miracle's up top, there's not really too much to be worried about. Even pulling back the Bat Rider, going to be Xing him, but Timbersaw on the front line here, going to get caught by the Invoker a little bit. AU is actually going to be the one that's left behind for the most part. Miracle, again, nowhere to be found. BOT's on cooldown. Yeah. So I think this is actually just going to be a non-factor from both sides. The Observer Ward has a good idea of Ralphie's movements, and that's going to be about it.
That's the classic push as a win Mineski, because you're defending a tower without your Naga.
And he's going to be able to push out the top lane very nicely here, as well as farm up the entirety of his own jungle. But the Shadow Demon Luna going to work and bringing this tower down piece by piece.
I mean, you got to take the towers as they're offered. You got to take what's there on the table for you. But you know, even Fnatic having to pull back from that tier 2.
Yeah, they're in an awkward spot. They can't really go for Roshan at this moment. They know that the Naga is just too strong in the pit when she commits the song, and they don't, again, have great vision. They just now placed a good Observer Ward down bottom. That's where they want to play, and, oh, look at that. A Sentry Ward comes out to make that small advantage nullified.
Boy, you got to be kind of... Fnatic have to be kind of turning to each other and saying, hey, what's up, guys? Because certainly you're not in the same degree of situation that you were in the last game with the all-in push strat, but, you know, you're going to lose late game to that Naga. There's no doubt about it.
You're not always going to, but it definitely has its probability. At this point, it might become a foregone conclusion. There's going to be another pick up on the Muerta as the Batrider just scouts it out once again. RR, again, just showing what he accomplished on this hero in terms of pickoffs, and as they continue to dominate the map.
And it's a big deal, right? I mean, Mushi having freshly completed his Aghanim Scepter, this is the time that the Muerta is supposed to be dominating the game out on the map, generating those kills, instead of getting picked off here 2 times in a row.
Yep, really nice work from RR. He has the 4 staff on top of the Blink. A lot of Blinks actually being up most recently. They've won on Ohio's Timbersaw. They're now one on the Courier from Mushi. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth in these fights, but the 4 staffs get to do more throughout the fights, because it doesn't matter if you've taken damage recently, which is really important because there's a Naga Siren who is emanating all that radiance across your entire team. So it's very likely that there might be a blink off cooldown for Muerta or Timbersaw that they're not going to be able to take advantage of.
And Fnatic just, they have to find some way to start concentrating pressure on a point in the map. And Fnatic, Mineski has shown themselves perfectly capable of not taking back-to-back fights at their own tier 2 towers, both of them.
So actually going to get a really good Dire Observer Ward. Is this going to set up an opportunity? They have the Flaming Lasso available, but they see 3 heroes up top. Instead, they realize there's an isolated target in mid. It's going to be Mushi again!
Oh, come on. You cannot do this!
What are you doing here? This is not your domain. You found the team! Yeah. Congratulations!
3 in a row. That's really...
Like, now what are these 4 heroes doing up top? Like, suddenly, like, you have...
Yeah, there's the tier 2's already down,
hero.
Guys, you know.
There's nothing to... They're pinging the top tier 3. You want to push it, but...
Meanwhile, Naga's about to do damage to your mid tier 2.
He's cutting every wave.
Yeah, this is really... Fnatic just look to be in disarray right now.
Hey, Mushi just not making the right call there. Demon and him are not on the same page, and he found the shortcut. He tried to find the quickest path to his teammates, and it ended up being right through the Dire side. Very costly indeed, as now they have absolutely nothing to accomplish in the top lane, and they waste a lot of time for all 5 heroes.
I mean, we talk about this in other sports, but it's so important in Dota. It's mental toughness. How are you going to react when the game goes against you?
And it's going against them pretty hard as AU gets Burrow struck on. Ohio will try to turn it, but he's really limited in his mana pool, and Raging Potato's at half HP. They could absolutely turn this around. They just need to get the right spells out. Instead, they say, hey, space created, and full disengage comes through.
That is definitely the power of those double mobility items on the Sand King and the Batrider. They have the ability to apply pressure pretty deep on the Radiant side of the map and still get both of them out safely.
Now, frustrated Jimmy is going to pick up a Gem of True Sight, try to get the smack under control. If they can at least get a couple Observer Wards out of that, it'll be worth it. But at the same time, so many things have gone wrong in the past few minutes.
It just feels like that Naga snowball is getting rolling and rolling and rolling. And how are you going to address her? She is about to have Radiant's Yasha Octarine up.
It's going to be, I wouldn't say impossible to deal with. Like, when we talk about late game, both of these lineups can go late game. It's just that Miracle is so comfortable in this position, and when you are pushing out every single lane at once, the result is that Fnatic have to make very transparent movements. They're either smoking, or they're walking down a lane. And when you have that kind of information based on the push pressure, the Batrider shines. But Mushi will break a smoke, and Joe's going to try to react. It's going to be another lasso coming out of Mushi. He gets X out of it, and he's going to be able to escape. Now, resetting the fight with the boat coming through. We see a pipe and a nice two-man burrow going out onto Raging Potato. Ohio going to try to turn this back the other way. Mushi, however, just gets nuked down by the Naga, and we're going to see the Shadow Demon going down to the Radiant as well. Going to stop the Eclipse, and they're going to kill off the Luna too. It's a triple kill for Miracle, with only Ohio surviving for Fnatic. They've only picked up the Sand King, and they are now losing this game 21-14.
Yeah, there's no easy way to say this. Mushi's just starting his team at this point. And this is, as we talked about at the very beginning, this is a crucial game for them. You do not want to drop back to 3 losses, now potentially having to fight your way back up to 4th place. This is unfortunate. To one of the guys that has been the veteran presences in Dota 2 for a long time, just not delivering so far in this game.
Compared to like Demon, who he got the X break right there on the lasso. He's been hitting some insane torrents throughout the entire game. Every single spell seems to be just working its way for Jimmy, but his team isn't on the same page, and that's the biggest problem here.
I mean, important to mention, you know, these guys are one of only 3 teams that have all 5 players in the top 8 from TI6, but they still are relatively new in their life cycle playing together. There are going to be some coordination problems, but you just can't have a core get caught out of position in 4 consecutive instances like that.
And Ohio just kind of seems to be playing almost like a club mentality. He's trying to carry the game on his shoulders. He's just silent on his opposition, but he can't do enough by himself. He's doing the Aghanims here instead of finishing the pipe, and while it will add even more damage, why not just protect your Luna and let her do the damage for you?
It's tough though, right? Because Timbersaw, in order to have his maximum effectiveness, he needs to be able to sort of survive and move around the fight. He needs to have his team support, because if he ever gets to the point where the whole enemy team focus him, they are going to kill him.
Well, interesting BOT usage there for Ohio as he just bounces around, but
okay. Cool.
In the end, they're again pushing out this top lane in a very transparent fashion. The illusion's stolen by the Shadow Demon will help out a little bit, but in the end they don't even poke at the tower before they're cleared out. I'm
mega distracted by the split pushing CM here. Okay, there we go. She's gonna rejoin her team.
Getting that extra bit of value out of the bottom lane means she's very close to a 2nd item. And actually going to be breaking that Timber Chain with a lasso and getting all this damage out onto Ohio. They're going to be able to focus it down. Yeah, he gets the hood out, but it's still going to be a lot of incoming damage. It's going to be the damage coming onto Jules, though. He is going to be the only casualty of this exchange. So, in the end, they got a really nicely timed pick breaking the Timber Chain. The problem is that this is the tankiest hero on Radiant side.
And this is why, you know, we've been saying Hood is a little underrated as item for a long time, but especially with the addition of that active spell block. That saved Ohio's life and allowed him to turn that fight around.
Now, going to be seeing just a pushing play coming in for Raging Potato, bouncing around. Gem is still in the possession of the Radiant, but it's on the Timbersaw, so not going to be coming into play as the Sanking just kind of...
You get the heals here. On the next item is the Sanking.
I mean, it's definitely fine. I'm trying to think of the best utility for it, other than just initiating and then surviving.
I kind of would like to see an Aether and Ag, but maybe that's just me.
If the Aghanims can be really good against a Shadow Demon lineup, especially FD Luna, but the Yules is very cheap, cost effective.
You got Manta on the Luna, you got Shadow Demon Illusions. Oh, Ohio is just trying to go ham here, and is Mushi going to be able to stay in the fight and live?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, they're just going to take their tower and back. All right, I thought they were going to look to commit a little bit harder there, especially given how far forward Mushi was.
So the way I look at the Yules is essentially a response to the Kunkka. You get caught by X,
fair enough,
and you know you're dead. Your torrent, boat, everything thrown at you. The Luna's going to drop some bombs, and that is a dead hero. So being able to use yourself to respond to that can be a game changer.
Yeah, but I mean, they have double Yules now. Like, they have double Blink, double Force, double Yules on the Batrider and Sand King. And that's you know, yeah, you have a lot of options in dealing with them.
Yeah, I can agree that at some point you do go for a little bit too much utility, and you just lack a little bit of oomph. We're seeing, they see the experience. Ralphie realizes that he actually was gaining experience.
No, not again. Okay, this time Timbersaw is in position. All right, Moran is able to leap out.
Oh man, some really close calls here, but all the while Miracle just continuing to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and now you've just got the Naga, pick your favorite terminal illness combo. This is when you have to start to ask, does Fnatic have the stamina? Do they have the solutions? Because Mineski now has the ability to just prolong this game almost indefinitely.
Yeah. The Aghanim Scepter on the Tempest actually allows him to clear a little bit better with the double chakram.
Sure.
He's able to annihilate illusions, annihilate creep waves. But at the end of the day, you actually don't have a way to kill the Naga herself. Not an easy one. Like maybe an axe at very long range.
But the big difference, though, your Timber Saw is up there. We talked about the triple wave clear potential. Farm progression of the Luna and the Mirana has really halted. Not so much necessarily on Raven, but definitely Mushi eating some unnecessary deaths.
Raven still hasn't even finished the BKB.
Exactly.
So definitely on both of them. And we're going to see even the Maelstrom to clear out those waves even more. You can never have enough. Nice Fuels kind of helping out in this situation, but is it going to be enough? As he Force Staffs away, he has a second Force Staff, but turned the wrong way for it and gets caught by the X. Now he's going to be caught in the full combo. It's going to be the Burrow Strike to try to bail him out.
They still can't kill him. They still can't kill him.
Echo Stomp going to whiff, but at the same time, they've saved the Bat Rider from almost certain death, and they can start bringing it the other way with a Miracle Song!
Trying to get out, and they are hosed.
But who is going to actually be focused down first? It's going to be the Bat Rider that's in some trouble. Eclipse comes out on the northwestern side. Raven can't find a kill from it, and has to hide in the trees. It's actually going to be finished off. And that is going to be it. They only casualty the Shadow Demon, the Luna, in that song, and they can't even bring down the Bat after a third try.
Fnatic just crumbling at this point.
Oh, good to be king indeed. The Burrow Strikes from Bimbo, Raging Potato J, whatever you would call him, were absolutely on point in that one. No matter how much you want to flame those little inconsequential misses early on, those were game changers.
Yeah, absolutely. And but that's, you know what? That's been the story of Mineski as a team throughout this event. They've had their warts, they're taking their lumps early on in games, but when it matters in these crucial mid and late game engagements, they have executed near flawlessly.
And now they're just going to be battering down the mid lane. They have good information across the board, trying to find Mushi once again. They're actually going to be finding the Ohio, who, again, is a tough cookie to crack, but with all these ultis, he's going to crumble. Mint chocolate chip. That is going to be a Gem of True Sight down.
Samoa's. Come on.
And that is going to be dead Jimmy, it looks like, as well. An arrow will connect onto the Sand King, but is it going to be enough to keep them in this fight? A nice glimmer.
They just can't get a kill.
Alive! He forced that out, and Miracle comes in!
Alright, I'm never questioning the ult again.
Holy shit, he lived through all of that instead of Miracle for all the damage!
That's the triple mobility utility builds on both the Bat Rider and the Sand King. You've seen them pay off so big in the last couple of skirmishes. You know, Fnatic just can't find a kill on these heroes.
I can't believe it. Just the whole Houdini from the Bat Rider and the Sand King even goes in for another Burrow Strike to set up Miracle for another kill. Just massive damage coming out from this Naga. As the fight is prolonged, as they're chasing these geese that are the Bat and the Sand King, Miracle is just continuing to emanate all of this damage. His illusions hit hard, his radiance ticks hard, Riptide after Riptide, it just sends them to the bottom of the ocean.
And at some point, it's got to get in your head. You know you're playing against the Naga Siren. You know the pressure is on you to get those kills, to force the action at this point in the game so that Naga's not able to just draw things out indefinitely.
Top lane, this actually might be a kill here as Miracle TP's in. There is no escape. Miracle drops the ensnare, and despite the defense corruption, it's gonna be a kill going under Raven. Buff be damned, he will not tick down as the Radiance is not in range. And it's going to be now Ohio trying to get the kill of a lifetime. Could this be the turnaround? Miracle has a huge kill streak to give away.
That might be a little bit too deep, buddy.
Oh, can he get the distance here? Demon trying to find an X, trying to find pursuit. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, but he's on.
He's got bots.
Too fast, and they'll pick up the pieces. Trying to find Ralphie. The Yules, the Glimmer from CM. Another great Glimmer cape from Ninja.
Brilliant use of utility items here by Mineski. We talked, of course, about the Sand King and the Bat Rider, but yeah, the Glimmer cape again. Yeah, they're just playing these fights so well as a team.
You can't give an MVP here. I mean, obviously the draft is catering to Miracle, but everybody's playing so on point. Whether it's the extremely fast pipe coming out from Jules, the great usage of their items from all the other three, Mineski are just so on point this game.
Yeah, they've been so on point for most of the qualifiers. They're a very well coached team right now, and I still give a lot of credit to Jules.
Yeah, this is another pickup on Mirana. They just don't have any information. Look at Radiant Vision. You wanna talk about Lucy getting picked off? What do they see? They have one ward on the map. You can't even complain about the Mirana getting picked because he's farming next to his tier 2 tower with nothing on the map. Oh my god.
That particular instance is, yeah, you know, you have to be out on the map getting resources, just sit in your base.
There's going to be a vote onto just an illusion, and Demon looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. Raging Potato does get dusted, but he's got backup coming in. Oh, gets the Yules onto the
that is just BM at this point. Oh my god.
AU in some real trouble now, gets Flame Break right back under the bat. Through the fire and the flames, he will perish as well. And down bottom, this is a bit of a lopsided matchup, but a quick Glimmer TP.
And like, nope.
David versus Goliath, and David just nopes right out of there.
Who needs a sling when you got a TP scroll? Give me a break. I mean, this is Fnatic. Obviously not quite done yet, but they just have to be demoralized at this point, and their path back into this game involves just a couple of dramatic high ground holds.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty insane what it's going to take to really make a difference here, and we're actually going to be seeing the Elder Titan build up an Aghanim Scepter. This is something I haven't seen in a long time. It's a magic immunity piercing disarm effect, can be BKB'd or otherwise dispelled off. So if you get the Luna to pop a BKB and you hit her with the Earth Splitter, she's pretty useless, but the Eclipse damage is taken into effect.
I'm interested to see it, because it doesn't seem like the Elder Titan combo has had that much of a direct effect. Of course, the stomps have been really good.
It's got to be with the song, right? Like, it's got to be perfectly timed with that. Luna's going to be hammering her BKB out of song anyways, so you get the Earth Splitter right after that to disarm her and make it so only the magical damage takes effect. Still, there's a great jump opportunity here. They have some decent vision in towards the Radiant side, seeing poisons flying out, and even getting the illusions to the enemy side. So this has got to be really the most critical of holds for Fnatic, as they are just backs against the wall.
And they're not a team. They're a team that's built to be sieging high ground at this point, not a team that's built to be defending high ground. They don't have the worst high ground defense in the world, but just not where they want to be.
Luna has only recently picked up the BKB, has yet to use it this game.
Yeah, she's still sitting on 10 seconds. Unbelievable.
It's a hard knock life. We'll see right now. Mineski just kind of play around. Miracle is even more comfortable in this position, right? Like, it's not just the fact that he's in a Naga game with Radiance past 38 minutes. It's the fact that he has all these lanes pushed out there, backs to tier 3s. Knows exactly how to play in this position. He can even siege the base while all 5 heroes are alive, using Song of Siren and his illusions.
This Naga, by the way, is just she's huge. She's 6 slotted already. She's got her heart. Luna doesn't have a damage item. She's got Manta, Dragonlance, and BKB. She can't even kill the Naga illusions anymore, really. Nah.
Turn that Maelstrom to 100% proc rate, because they really need it. They need the full combo of double Starstorm, Maelstroms everywhere.
Cheats enabled, or we're going to see banana peel?
Please,
shit?
just all that stuff. Shout out to Lumi. But at this point, yeah, we have Mineski in a really good position.
And see him, okay, sure. Why not? Why not?
Easy. Like, at this point, you've got all the... He's used the Glimmer Cape in such a beautiful manner.
It really has.
You just got to stack
the utility item usage.
The other side. There will be a quick jump back and forth here onto some illusions, but it's actually going to be Miracle in the flesh. It gets the triple!
My God!
The song is kind of staying too long, but it's going to wait out the Eclipse, going to be able to soak it up, and then turn it back around with the Epicenter. Pearl Strike Raven going to be going down here in just a moment, and that is going to be nearly a full team wipe here. Ohio, the last man standing, as buybacks come through in full, and he is one man against the world. Trees everywhere, heroes everywhere, and the respawned AU about to be dropped a second time. Miracle, in the meantime, thinks through it all. Harder to blame for that one, as he continues to just keep regenerating HP. Now, Ohio finally going to be going down to the CM and the Bat Rider's persistent efforts. Mushi wants blood. He's hungry, he's shooting arrows, and he's not finding anything. Miracle has completely outmatched him at this point. In fact, it might just be another kill the other way.
Oh my
That's
God.
a dieback. Oh, okay.
Okay, well...
That's your 45-second cooldown, boys. Thank you so much for CDR and Dota 2. But Mushi still continues to keep his distance. Leap and Blink seems to be enough for him to at least draw their attention for an extended period of time.
I know we talked about Faceless. You guys like them as being prohibitively the best team in the region coming into this, but I mean, if Mineski continues to play like this, they haven't played Faceless yet.
No, I'm looking forward to that matchup.
That's going to be a fun game.
Technically, both teams are undefeated.
Exactly. Not technically. That's what's going on, baby. This is the top 2 teams in the region right now.
Yeah, and I had a lot of hope when obviously Miracle got out of national service and got to start playing full time.
Just gonna bring that up.
Gone, and it looks like Jay will be taking some damage. Actually, Ninja Boogie will go down to the pure damage.
Oh no! CM!
Oh, that's just.
Oh, is she gonna go down to Glaives? Come on, there you go. No, she's fine.
And they hold it off. They hold the line. Naga Siren on the front.
Just too much control.
They have so much utility. They have so many ways to escape, to disable. Mineski have everything in their arsenal to just dominate the fight.
All of those tools don't matter if you're not using them to their fullest. And Mineski, the item and ability usage in these fights, after talking so much about Raging Potato missing the burrow strike early, the ability in these later fights has been almost perfect.
But here we are going to be seeing Ohio, really just a hard hero to bring down, and Raging Potato down to half HP. In the end, it looks like he'll get some distance here, but yeah, going back to the idea that national service has infected Miracle's career for a long time. This was like the top MMR player, I think, at one point in SEA. He was sitting on 7-8K for a good while, and then
a guy that was widely influential in terms of the metagame and builds outside of the SEA scene. We're talking about one of the few SEA players where you had Western Naga players watching his games, copying his builds, and to be out of the scene for 2 years and then come back and show this kind of form is pretty impressive. Yeah,
a real innovator in the scene, and now he gets to play full time. I got excited as soon as I saw that tweet, and now we get to see the after effects. Mineski are fully armed and operational. This battle station is going to be gunning down Fnatic, and from there, they have to be shaken. I mean, what if they can't shake this game off? They'll go to the replay. I've seen them at the summit. They go to the replay immediately, but they can't figure out exactly what went wrong. This is going to be a really tough playoff for them.
Unfortunately, I think part of the story of what went wrong is just that you have a couple players that need to play cleaner on an individual basis.
Sure, that's true, but at the same time, there are so many factors that go into it, and if you're shaken to the point where you're just first banning Naga every time you face Mineski, you're in a bad way going into the next couple of days. Oh, Naga actually in some trouble here. Will finally be brought down for 1,900 gold in the comeback. Easy money.
Of course.
By the Divine Rapier, Jimmy, let's go. He gets another kill streak at the Crystal Maiden, 700 gold. On top of that comeback gold, like we're gonna see actually he gets 2,900 in total for those 3 kills.
Yeah, he's now sitting on a Shadow Blade if he wants it. Sure thing, why not?
Hand of Midas. No.
Oh, please kill me now. All right.
At this point, you're looking for some damage. You're looking for anything with your Tidebringer. I mean, yeah, you can look at the Ether, the Blink, whatever, but is there really anything that'll put you back in this game?
Blink Aether's actually not at all, but...
After Center could be coming out here on the tanking, right onto Jimmy. I'll take that cast back, thank you very much.
Raging Potato's like, alright, you got 3,000 gold? I'm not impressed.
The walking ATM machine is... They insert a deposit, they make their withdrawal, and they take their cash right back.
Of all things, too, you missed the arrow on Roshan.
Mushi, how you doing, man? You hanging in there?
We love you.
Alright, so at this point, we're 45 minutes in the game. Mjolnir complete on the Blink Aghanom's Mirana.
Yeesh.
15k net worth compared to Miracle's 35,000. It's just a colossal difference. Is it even a carry at this point? Like, Mirana is that hero that can farm fast, but she doesn't necessarily scale to the degree that you need to in this context.
The problem is that the time in the game where Mirana is typically most scary and most effective, like right after you complete that Aghanim's, it gives you both that kill potential and that flash farming potential, and Mushi spent most of the time dead.
Yeah.
I really hope that people are not watching this thinking I'm flaming Mushi, but that's just what happens.
That's the reality of it, for sure. This has not been his game. He has shown a much stronger performance on the hero, on many other heroes in recent times, at this tournament in the past 24 hours, but here, he is not where he needs to be, and I'm worried about his head right now, because Mineski are about to be knocking down the front door. They've got a smoke. They're rapping, and they seem to have a pretty good idea of who their target's going to be.
Oh, the butterfly on Luna, again, she has bought out for this. That buyback.
Starting off with a good disruption here on the Bat Rider. He might be able to self-use it. No, he is caught by the combo, but there's going to be the combo coming up for the Sand King and the ET. Toko's going to be dropping down very low and slimmering away, while the Mirana gets gunned down on the front. Ohio going to be able to clean up the Crystal Maiden here. It's going to be the Eul Scepter keeping the SC alive, but now Naga Siren will drop the song that buys them time to finish off this Shadow Demon, and now they'll be able to go for 2 more. Brilliant Epicenter coming out from Raging Potato. Will be able to finish off for a triple kill for Miracle, and they want 1 more. Ohio's Ember Saw is hexed, and that pig is roasted.
I would not be surprised if Fnatic just called it here. You know, your Luna was chasing Maiden for most of the first part of that fight, furiously hitting her, and it took, like, you know, seconds to kill her still. That's just tough position.
The 5-man wipe leads to at least a guaranteed top lane of Rax. I'm curious how it'll affect the other mid and side lanes. Going to be seeing a little bit of boat action coming out. Demon wants a last word here, but it does seem like this is going to be the end of the game. Glyph will sustain them just for a moment longer. Their only time they can really fight is in 37 seconds when all 5 are alive, and by then you're going to have 2 lanes gone. Oh, he's going for the Dezo. They want to finish faster. He gets to the base. He actually gets X here, has to use it, and that's going to buy time for Ohio to find AU inside the lasso. Self-disruption is not available, and that's 1 dead Shadow Demon. Down bottom, the Desolator, Sand King poking and prodding. Does that even work? No, it doesn't. You have Caustic Finale, and that is a unique attack modifier.
Hilarious. Okay.
All right. He needs to drop his claws in order to Dezo hit that shit, but it's okay. Takes the Rage Brex anyway.
It was a good idea. Maybe.
He dropped it. He dropped it. Here's the Desolator for you boys. It's okay. And Jules ends up paying the penalty here on the front line. In the meantime, you've got Mega Creeps, you've got a tier 4 tower down.
Yeah, you got Mega Creeps and a 6-slotted Naga Siren.
In the worst case, you could song out. So Fnatic just call it at this point.
Understandable.
And Mineski remain undefeated here in the Southeast Asian group stage for the Boston Major.
I don't think it's a stretch at all at this point to call Mineski the surprise team across all 4 regions of these qualifiers so far. Undefeated in